Hey guys, I'm Ashlyn, and today I'm going to talk about whether or not sports stars deserve the big salaries that they get. So, wouldn't it be great to make a couple $1,000,000 a year to simply play a game? Tiger Woods, along with many other professional athletes, certainly think so. But do these athletes really deserve all that money? In my mind, no, they don't. Professional athletes are making way too much money in a society where salaries and wages are traditionally based on the value of one's work. In today's society, one should be paid according to the job's economic importance and their value to society. Teaching, for example, is one of the most economically important occupations because our future economy relies on the education of our youth. Yet the national average starting salary for teachers is only $38,617, which is astronomically less than the average professional athlete's salary. In fact, each basket Kobe Bryant scores earns him the equivalent to an average classroom teacher's yearly salary. However, some may argue that while a teacher only provides service to a single classroom, superstar athletes are entertaining fans all around the world, enticing people with a feeling of relaxation and excitement. Yay, go team! Obviously, what these individuals must not be aware of is that the most important man in our nation, the president, who makes critical decisions that affect the entire world every day, only makes, on average, $400,000 a year. While the president is hard at work reviving the economy, the unproven rookie in the MLB is earning way over that figure. Furthermore, police officers, whose average salary is only $59,680, firefighters with an average salary of $43,488, and doctors averaging $156,000 a year all save lives while risking their own for a fraction of what sports stars make. People in the military, for example, leave their families at home to defend and protect our country, knowing that they may never return. It's truly a pity that none of these true heroes are given the same recognition by society as athletes such as Brett Favre or Michael Jordan. While I do understand that making it into the pros is obviously not an easy thing to do, and that it takes a tremendous number of hard work, hours, and dedication every day to earn a job in professional sports, these people do nothing more than entertain the general public and get paid to have fun playing a game that they love. In 2016, the average annual income for a U.S. household was $57,617, while the average income of a professional athlete in the major leagues was between 2.1 million and 6.5 million. The rising gap between the average American's income and the professional athlete's income might pose a serious threat to sports. With ticket prices, let alone merchandise, gradually rising, sports fans might feel resentful toward funding overpaid athletes. If so, they'll stop paying to watch or support professional sports teams, leaving the industry in the dust. Moreover, if these athletes want to continue to be rewarded with the fame and fortune that is unfairly bestowed upon them, they must prove to the world that they are going to be positive role models for future athletes and those who admire them. These infamous players must grow up and prove to America that they can be positive role models for kids on and off the field. They may get leeway when it comes to their salaries, but the law should be overpowered by any amount of talent. If Alex Rodriguez earns the same amount of money as it would take to feed the nation's poor for a year, he can't cheat and take steroids. What kids learn from successful ball players like him is that it's okay for me to use illegal substances because in the long run, it'll pay off by me earning an enormous contract. If you're looking for a role model, you may want to consider turning your back on the world of sports. When Tim Tebow spoke on Father's Day in San Diego, he told 26,000 people there that athletes need to come together and be great role models. Some of these guys weren't listening. Pete Rose had one heck of a career, being elected to the All-Star Game 17 times and winning Rookie of the Year and MVP honors and racking up an MLB record of 4,256 hits. Rose was a surefire Hall of Famer, but he was caught betting on baseball games and was placed on the permanently ineligible list and now cannot be voted in. Arguably the best golfer in the world, potentially one of the biggest cheaters as well. No, he didn't cheat on the course, but he sure cheated on his wife. While he was considered one of the best role models before the scandal broke, The list of women he cheated with is so substantial that he has to be considered one of the worst at this point. We all know who we're talking about there. Allen Iverson has become a bit of a train wreck over the last few years, but his failure to be a good role model dates back more than a decade. We've all heard about his rant about how he hates practice, and really, what kind of example does that set for kids, that you don't have to practice if you're already good? The next big incident for AI came when he was pulled over in his Lamborghini. Apparently he didn't feel that the police officer or his car was worth his time, and he was willing to leave them both behind, claiming, "Take the vehicle, I have 10 more. Please don't have anything else to fucking do except fuck with me. Do you know who I am?" In order for these players to gain respect, they need to have a more significant impact on the community. Don't get me wrong, there are those atypical athletes who boast ridiculously charitable personalities outside of competition. Through his own charitable foundation, Jason Witten's SCORE Foundation, Witten has launched numerous outreach programs and funded several new building projects in Texas and his native hometown in Tennessee. 7 years ago, the foundation launched the Jason Witten Scorekeepers Program, a unique initiative placing full-time trained male mentors in battered women's shelters throughout Texas. The mentors seek to demonstrate positive male behavior to the children living in these shelters in an effort to break the cycle of violence that plagues families affected by abuse. In 2010, the foundation launched a new domestic violence prevention program called Coaching Boys into Men in high schools across Arlington, Texas. The program trains coaches to educate their players on the dangers of dating violence. Another Dallas Cowboy who's trying to make a difference is the Cowboys quarterback, Dak Prescott, who's making a contribution towards finding a cure for cancer after losing his mom to the disease as a sophomore in college. Dak Prescott is doing work towards finding a cure for cancer because it's a personal issue for him. And then, while some might classify the WWE more as entertainment than as a sport, there's no denying the physical conditioning and functional strength of WWE wrestlers. And there's absolutely zero questioning John Cena's rank as one of the most charitable athletes in the world. Cena is not only the most requested athlete in the Make-A-Wish Foundation, he's blown everyone else out of the water, granting more than 500 wishes to date. On a final note, what really puzzles me is how athletes get upset and say that the millions of dollars won't be enough to support their families and that they need more money. And then, after holding out for several weeks and sometimes months, the owners end up giving it anyway and paying these athletes what they don't even deserve. Think about Jamarcus Russell, the former #1 overall pick in the 2007 draft. He was on a 6-year, $68 million contract with $31 million guaranteed to him. In simpler terms, that means that despite currently being recognized as one of the biggest busts of all time, and even if he were to get injured tomorrow and never play again, he will still have $31 million in the bank. In any other job, if you don't perform to your expectations, you're fired. There's no guaranteed money or exceptions. The large amounts of money invested in professional sports in recent years has the potential to drain the true meaning from sports. Given athletes large salaries, more youngsters want to become professional athletes, but for the big money, not for the love of the game. This change in purpose has a negative impact on players' ambitions to play. Take Albert Haynesworth of the Washington Redskins. Once he signed a $100 million contract with $44 million guaranteed, he had his worst season ever, as it just seemed he lost interest in the game. Professional athletes competing for money rather than for excellence will take the soul and magic out of sports, ruining it in the long run. The whole system that allows professional athletes to just swim around in money is simply ridiculous, and it needs to stop. According to a 2009 Sports Illustrated article, 78% of NFL players are either bankrupt or under financial stress within 2 years of retirement, and an estimated 60% of NBA players go bankrupt within 5 years after leaving their sport. So they get paid all this money and then they just blow it on dumb shit and have nothing left over when the money stops coming in. When asking people whether they think athletes are paid way too much, most people would agree. What do you guys think? Leave your comments below. subscribe to my channel, and add Ashlyn Miss on Snapchat.